Welcome to Comfort Legacies with Faye Michelle. And today we have our beautiful guest, Crystal Mitchell, and she's going to share her book with us. And so we'll just start by tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there.
Well, thank you for having me on. My name is Crystal Ann Mitchell. I'm here in Lexington, Kentucky. This is my first book. I became an author last year of August 2020. I'm a nurse aide. And yeah, so I'm very excited because, this is something that my dream has come true during the pandemic too as well. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So what's the name of your book?
It's called The Beginning of Her Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just put it up in front of your face. Yeah. There you go. Okay. All right. And so let's start us on the journey. How did it get started? How did you come about writing this beautiful book?
Well, I've always wanted to become an author ever since I was a child, probably like in second or third grade. So I used to fantasize about being this successful author, and I used to practice my signature throughout life. But, going throughout life, all these things was going on. So it just got pushed in the back of my mind. And so I tend to have dreams that come true. So I had dreamed my brother's death years before it had happened. And so by the end of the year, something just kept telling me to write. And I just made up every excuse of why I couldn't write. I'm getting older. I don't know what to really write about, And then that year marking his death, around his death date, it was just on my heart very heavily all day, every day. And I just had to ask God, if you want me to write, give me a sign and I'm going to write. And he ended up giving me my sign and I started writing. So that's how, I became an author by, asking God.
Okay. And so what is the story about?
This story is based on true events. I just made up a psychologist, but everything that I'm telling him are truthful things. So it's basically letting people know that there's purpose in that pain. So, when you think that everything is just going so terrible, which at the time, I'm crying out and everything like, but it's basically all the ingredients of what I needed to become who I am to become. So it's to show people that, there's purpose in that pain.
Amen.
And to let people know, no matter how hard life is, to always have faith in God too, because without him, I wouldn't have became an author,
Okay. All right. So do you feel like it takes an emotional event perhaps to help others become an author, consider their pains?
I think so. Because basically it's because your story is to help others, and I think like pain, even with music or whenever somebody's going through pain, I don't know what it is, but it seems like they tend to make the hits and it's just, I don't know, I guess because you really pouring out your emotions, so I do agree with that. I really do.
Okay. So it resonates with others and it hits them at their very core. Yes, I can believe that. So how did you go about self-publishing? How did that all come about?
Well, I didn't self-publish. I published, but I cut my book off. And the
Okay.
second part of the book, I plan on self-publishing. I didn't want to give, these people my whole life story, so I did cut it on off. So I do plan on doing that with the second part of the book.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So who helped you? What agency did you go through? Who helped you?
I went through Dorrance Publishing. Yeah, so I wound up finding like 5 publishers because I didn't think that anybody was going to accept me. When you're looking up how to be an author, these people, there was some stories behind, them rejecting you. I sent it off, and like 2 days later, these people emailed me and was like, they loved my story and would love to bring it to print.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
they
did
ended
you
up.
only send to one eight public
No,
publishing
I
house?
sent it to like 5, and I think like afterwards, somebody else like months down wound up, but I was already with someone. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah.
So that's amazing. What did that feel like?
It was really good, you know. The thing is though, I was just waiting on anything, although I was like, oh God, these people, you know, you think about all these successful authors with Stephen King and other people that, you know, successful, they've been rejected so many times. I'm like, oh, you know, who am I? And when I sent it off and they said that, I was very happy, but I was really looking, I think, for anything to stop me to becoming this author because, you know, I'm about to tell the world, you know, my life story. So, you know, it was God saying, you know, keep going. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, you know.
Okay.
But I
So,
was excited.
yes, yes. So, how many pages is it?
It was 136, I believe,
Okay.
130, because I think when we was doing the rough drafting and stuff like that, it was much more, but 130 pages.
Okay. So, when they accepted your story, how did that process work for you? Did you get on a contract? Did they pay you out, or did you have
Yeah,
to
I
pay
got
them?
on a basically a contract. I was basically, that's what I'm saying. I was walking by faith and not by sight with these people. You know, I'm having
Mhm.
to use them to try to help me, but that's why I cut the book off because the book is absolutely so good. You're gonna want to keep turning the page. So
Right.
all I need is to grab the world's attention. You know, once I
Yeah.
grab their attention, now I don't need them no more, you know, now because you know they gonna have their hand in the cookie jar, you know. So
Yes.
now
Yes.
after that, after I did use that, you know, getting out there to be noticed, you know, as second book, that's why I go on to self-publish, you know.
Okay. So, how long does it take them from the time that they receive your manuscript before they turned it into a book? How long was that process?
Let me see, 2017. It took about 3 years going back and forth, because it was
Really?
2017. Yeah, and so, well, no, 2017 is when I wrote it. So 2000, so it was 2 years. So it was 2018 is when I sent it. So I wound up being you know, a author in 2020 of August.
Oh, okay.
But for me doing these interviews, Walmart, my book's 13, but Walmart has went up. So they like almost $16. At one time it was like already $18. But I
Yes.
don't try to tell people, you know, bad at Dorrance because I would get, you know, the majority of the money. I think the message is more important. And my
Right.
main focus is that second book, you know. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so
This
I
is
just
so amazing. It's
yeah,
so
so
it's so
wherever they
interesting.
want to badge, you know, but my
Okay.
publishers, you know, is doing so that's where most of my money I get more from there. But anywhere else I get it, you know.
Okay. Okay. So it's on their platform, and
Yeah, it's
usually
on their
people will
platform.
come. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. And then you also put it on Amazon. So, but they also have it distributed pretty much worldwide or nationwide.
yeah.
Okay.
So we
So,
got
oh wow. And so that makes you
so I
kind of
had
a
a lot of benefits with them, you know. I didn't think
right.
that, you know, yeah.
Okay, so how does their platform work? Because some authors have a hybrid thing where they do a portion, like you wrote the book, and maybe they send it over to like a publishing house like Doran, and then Doran takes on the illustration in children's book, which yours is not a children's book. So, in children's, but they take over the illustrations, they'll do everything, and then deliver the book back to them. Okay,
So the thing is that that second book they ain't got nothing to do with that, you know.
I understand.
Yeah,
Okay,
I can't give, can't nobody have my life, you know.
okay,
You can't
all
get
right.
paid off all my life. Can't
Yeah.
nobody do
Okay. So,
that.
so do you?
Love
Oh
them, love
wow.
them, love them.
Oh, that is great. That is great. But that's such a proud moment. What about your family members? How do they feel about it? What kind of feedback?
They are happy about it. I think that I'm inspiring others, you know, to
Yes.
really if not even to write, to go after their dreams, because you know I
Yes.
have these children, and I'm showing people that, you know, you can do whatever in life that you want to do. You don't have to limit yourself, you
Exactly.
know. Yeah, so I think
Exactly.
they proud, you know. My
Aw.
family, some of them's ready for the second book, you know. Yeah.
Oh, well, what about, is there anybody that you perhaps feel like they were a little bit slighted because of the book?
Of course. Of course, that's gonna come with it. Anything,
Well, you know what?
Yeah, but I changed names in the book to protect people's identity. I did,
Okay,
but yeah, but I don't want people to think, I just want people to get the more of the story,
right. Well, you know what
get the
happens.
message.
Okay, right. You know what happens is I've been told that you need to write your story, and the world is bigger than your 100 people circle. And so what you're trying to do is just not to um, limit yourself to not writing your story because you feel like you will offend someone within your circle, and because what is needed is someone, there are people outside of that circle that really needs to hear your story. And
Right.
sometimes, often, we won't write our stories because we're concerned about how we might hurt someone's feelings or how someone might perceive the story, so we hold it in.
Yeah.
And do you find that writing your story was therapeutic for you?
It was. I feel that it really, really was therapeutic. It helped me because once the painful memories is out, it loses its power. So it's to,
Yes,
and now I can look back and laugh and smile at all those things, because that's what don't kill you, make you stronger. And all
absolutely.
those things that I thought was really bad, that was just all the ingredients. I had to go through that, and that's why I'm an author to this day.
Wow. Wow. You see, that's exactly what this platform is all about, is inspiring and motivating others. Just what exactly what you just said. All of those ingredients help to make you who you are. And that brought out this wonderful creator in you. And you're able to touch others. Have you done any speaking engagements?
I've just been doing like interviews, but in my book, I'm telling how, I'm thinking my life is so terrible and like everything isn't going as planned. I'm telling basically how I went through public speaking, so it says God is placing me into, I'm having to go to school during my dark times, but I'm learning how to speak. Because if I want to be a successful author, I need to get used to speaking, So
Yeah.
it's as if he was already preparing me and I'm not even knowing. So
Yeah.
I've been doing just these interviews that get me, get my little practice on.
Yeah. That is exciting. Get your practice on. That's
Get
right.
my practice on.
That is so, you're just a delight. I mean, just talking to you before the interview, I was like, this is an interview that I'm going to really enjoy, because you were just so ready and willing to share. And I just pray that, all of your dreams come to fruition, and that, you will reach the audience that you need to reach, that can grow and heal from what you have to offer. And I think that
Yeah.
that's one of the brightest and biggest and courageous things that you can do as an author. And it's amazing that you stated that you wanted to be an author ever since first or third grade or something like
Yeah,
that.
so he placed it in my heart when I was younger. It's just that yeah, everybody got a gift. He gave everybody a gift. And sometimes others gotta, go through a lot. Some gotta suffer. And but the suffering is for somebody else. Yeah. So I do believe. And I believe your gift's gonna make room for you. You can't go wrong when you following his will. He's going to already look out for you. So
Amen.
that's why I say I got to get these practices on. I know he's got me. I always got to give him the praise. God's a jealous God. And without him, you know, he's the reason that I rose because I
Oh,
asked.
oh, wow. Amazing. So, did you have to get any consent from others to add them into the book? I know you said you use different names or fictitious names, or did you just write the story?
I
And
wrote the story and changed the names because I
uh,
mean some ain't gonna like it. But
right,
some
right.
people that's in the book, they had I asked them, what you want your name to be. I told them I would never in life. If they want to come public and be like, I'm this person, I'll let them do it. And they didn't have bad characters. But then there's some that, I put names on them, but I have grown since the book. So you are experiencing the pain and stuff that I went through. But it's also showing you that, God's going to use your enemies as your footstools. So it's a way of saying you got to be careful how you treat people because, God will turn it around on you. And so
Absolutely.
I just changed their names. And yeah, it's very, very good. I'm not just saying that because it's my book. But when you have people come to you like, where is that second book at? It's
Yeah.
like, oh man, I feel bad that I did cut it off like that, but you know, yeah,
Ah.
I had to
So
separate it. I had to.
so you had a cliffhanger.
Yeah, yeah, it got me a clip because this was my first book was a warm up. Second book's where the gloves come off, so I got to. Yeah, I had to, and I didn't want to give them my whole story.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So that leaves you with some wiggle room and some growth. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
so that you can enter into that second book space and perhaps be more monetarily capitalized upon, so that
Yes.
you can make your ends, get your cake in there, right? You
Right.
got
You
to
hear
get your
me?
cake in there. Okay. So, do you know how many books have sold? Do they keep you up with that?
I won't know until they'll do it in two increments. So it'll be in January, I believe, and then July. So I would
Oh,
know in July. Yeah, but I'm doing more interviews, so I'm getting people I've done an interview in England, just did one with a Zoom interview with a man in India, then other people that that's not in my hometown. You got to reach out.
yes, yes. And we're here in Spokane, Washington.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So
okay.
we're here in Spokane, Washington. So this is just really, really awesome. And I would have you to just read a little bit.
Okay, look, you ready? Look, you ready for the juice?
You're ready for the
Okay,
juice.
I'm gonna read the first chapter. It is short. The first chapter is okay. So I told y'all that in the book, everything's truthful that I'm telling him, but I had made up a psychologist. So I didn't tell you, but as I was writing the book down on paper and I started typing it, God had me to meet a psychologist
Oh,
online. So I'm not knowing that he's a psychologist, but as we started communicating more, that's when I noticed. So then I got to use him to tell me the things that were to be seen in a psychologist's office. And, what would I call them? And eventually, what's your height and weight? So, and with God, he would place people in your path to get you to where he's trying to get you. So it's as if, he had to break and chip down all that fear that was in me and to slap me awake.
wow.
So that's why I say this book is really, really good. He was made up, but then afterwards, I wound up coming across one. So he helped me, pushing me. So the first
Okay.
chapter of the beginning of her story, I usually find myself dazing back into the past. I sometimes wish I could start over from a specific date and time. Tears fell down my cheeks, and I covered my face with my hands so he couldn't see. I could feel my face was hot. I was shaking, and I bust out crying. The room was scary silent, so all I could hear was my cry. Minutes had passed when I felt a headache coming on. I wiped my eyes with the back of my hands, only to find him with his legs crossed, staring straight into my soul. Miss Guy, do you think you can continue, or would you like to stop here and next week continue, or no, I'm fine, I replied, cutting him off. He moved his hand out, motioning me to continue on. I glanced at the clock and realized we were only 15 minutes into my first session. My body temperature had returned back to normal, and I was no longer shaking. I leaned my head back on the cozy brown love seat and closed my eyes. I inhaled and exhaled, thinking to myself, Megan, people have betrayed you, but he's not them. Go ahead and tell him. You will probably feel a whole lot better. I opened my eyes, raised my head up, and took another glance at him. He nodded to confirm he was ready whenever I was. I inhaled and exhaled again, thinking to myself, here it goes.
Oh, wow. Oh, you read that so beautifully.
Well, thank
That
you,
is
honey.
awesome. That is awesome. You just got him. You got him at the word go, right? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so proud for you.
Well,
Just
thank you. I
awesome,
appreciate
awesome. I just prayed you so much success. That's what I love about having this platform here. I'm excited to, be able to bring on authors and publishers and illustrators, and so that they can share their journey and reach, an
it.
audience.
Yes.
And soon we're going to have a a worldwide app, and I'm looking forward to that. So you can take that app and share it with anyone.
Okay.
It's kind of like, so I'm excited about that. Once you get that book in your hands and they deliver it to you in the mail and you're so excited, then it's like, what's next? So marketing your book is important, and being able to get it out there to people, and you can go through the story writing and purging and benefiting in that way. But then you want to have people to see the book, read the book, and you want
Yes.
it to be enriching in somebody's life.
Yes.
So, and that's why um I asked for you to be on the platform and share that story. So
Yes.
I'm just so proud of you. So now
Thank you.
that we have covered that, and I just want to delve more into the story. So you said, people, where can they get the books again? All of the platforms that it's on, that they can go and get your book.
It's at Dorrance Bookstore, the Walmart,
Hmm.
Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I think it's
Okay.
Booktopia, and
Okay.
there's other places too. I can't
Okay.
really, because you could just Google me up and I'm gonna
Google.
just pop up like yeah, they got me where I'm other places where it's different um languages. So I'm just
Awesome.
yeah. So I yeah.
So what languages do you know of that they have it in?
I don't know. It'd be up under the Google, and they be having their little,
Okay.
it'd be like their little websites. Yeah. So, but I never posted those, up under my link
So,
on my Facebook and stuff. So I just do like the normal ones. But Amazon. I mean, not Walmart's the most highest. So
okay.
I don't know why. I guess
Uh,
people like buy from Walmart or something.
Probably feel like they're in the store and they're looking. And if they see it there, they probably feel like this is probably the best price in Walmart. So that helps. And if you get a lot of people going through Walmart and looking
Yeah,
for
that
books,
is true.
and some people like to flip through the pages and
Yes.
see and maybe read a few lines before. And that's why it's so nice to have you to read that first page in the chapter. And then that draws people in.
Yes.
We want to know more. We want to know more of what happened. So that is awesome. Well, Miss Crystal Ann Mitchell, we're going to let you go. And your beautiful book, the beginning of her story, is awesome. I love the cover. And I
Well,
think that
thank
that
you.
is another draw. And we do look forward to hearing about your second one. So with that being said, we're going to say, is there any final words that you would like to leave with the audience?
Yeah, I would like to let everyone know that I appreciate y'all for watching, but to always, no matter how hard life gets, is to always have faith in God.
Okay.
To always have faith in God. And I'll say that to the day I die.
Okay. And believe in your dreams.
Yes,
Believe, having faith in God and believing in your dreams. Believe that it can come to fruition. And sometimes it may take a little while, but sometimes you need that, because that's your experience. That's your
yes,
content. You know what I
yes,
mean? All of
yes,
those experiences that you go through, that's your content to put in the book. If you
yes.
didn't go through anything, then there would be nothing to write about, right?
Right. Yeah, you
No,
know
so that's awesome. That's awesome. Who wants to know your story? Oh, well, no reason. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here. And we just
Thank
thank you all
you.
for watching. And it's been a great time with Crystal. And so we will see you next time. So.
Okay. Thank you.